Hey, welcome into the Husker247 Daily Show. I'm Mike Schaefer, joined by Michael Bruntz. It is Monday morning. Been an eventful weekend. Nebraska with a come-from-behind win against Maryland and a big move in the coaching carousel, which starts now, mostly in September, continues into October, and will really pick up steam in November. Bruntz, do you want to talk about the comeback win, or do you want to talk about Nebraska sort of being on the edge of this whole coaching carousel thing?
Let's keep the people wanting for the carousel talk. So let's do Maryland real quick.
Sure. Let me start with this. You were not at the game. I was not at the game. So normally I would just know your answer because we would be there in person. But what was your thought process or confidence level in Dylan Raiola and Nebraska's offense when they took the ball with 3 minutes and like 48 seconds left at the 19-yard line, needing a touchdown to take the lead?
Not great, but like it's I guess hindsight being what it is, but still like this is strangely a Nebraska team that's kind of the anti-Nebraska team.
Yeah.
Like for as bad as they were at times during that game, and some of the decisions that Dylan made that led to interceptions, like they still seem to be able to be comfortable under pressure, which is not something this program has known for a while. So generally, I would say not super confident, but like those types of situations with this team, I feel like you're getting a little bit more confident that like you can get a first down. You can like there were some off schedule plays on that drive. You're like, okay, this might actually happen. Like this could be a thing here. So um I don't know. Like it am I wrong that it feels like some kind of switch has flipped a little bit?
Yeah, so I actually felt like they were going to go score. What I was more convinced was going to happen is that they'd allow like a 40-yard play to set up a game-tying field goal,
Yeah.
and then we would have the latest chapter in Nebraska's overtime history would start in College Park, and so I was like all prepared for that. And then Nebraska comes down and they score, and there was some plays on that drive that were impressive, and we can get into those. But then it was the way the defense kind of just handled its business that stood out to me. They've done that now. They did it against Cincinnati, obviously, with the interception. They got the intentional grounding call here. I thought Williams Nwaneri pressure up the middle. I mean, Malik Washington threw a perfect pass. Like, if he
Mm-hmm.
throws it a little shorter, it's picked. If he throws it a little long, it's picked. He threw a perfect pass. Otherwise, Nebraska I thought played well to get off the field at the end of it. But I had a pretty good confidence that really what was happening at the end of that was Nebraska's resolve, yes, to go win the game, but also Maryland was in the old Nebraska role of, hey, let's not screw this up. Hey, let's not screw this up. Hey, we're screwing this up. Oh, we did it again. Like
Yeah.
that. That's a powerful factor when the other team is having to go through that mentally, having just done it the week before. So I felt like Nebraska had a bit of an advantage in that regard. And then it was a wonky start. Even the first play to Luke Lindenmeyer was odd. And then you have the falling down throw. And then you
Mm-hmm.
have what I will be shocked if Heinrich Harburg has a more impressive catch in the next
Yeah.
6 games. And one, I don't know how Raiola saw that window to throw it to, or if that window existed for any other arm in that game, but just impressive. And then the play to Dane Key, like there's only like 6 plays on that whole drive, or 7 plays, a couple of rushes in there, some passes. I mean, they made it look like this isn't a team that struggles in that regard. And that was their first come from behind win since Tanner Lee did it in West Lafayette, which I'm sure you remember fondly in 2017.
I do. Things were turning around. I do think I do think though, like we always talk like there's like 7 or 8 plays a game that you have to get. And I mean there were what would you say Nebraska probably got 80% of them in that game? Like a very high percentage. Even on the intentional grounding call, I was thinking to myself like that's intentional grounding when he threw it. And then I was like, this is not a call that Nebraska typically gets. It's a call that typically goes against Nebraska. However, they got that call, the correct one, I think.
Yeah. Well, and then the
But
non-targeting too, like that. I just fully expected that flag to fly because it was a violent hit in the middle of the field,
yeah,
but it was a perfectly like that's exactly the kind of hit that you want. And so, as someone who has his strong opinions on Big Ten officiating, I give them kudos for keeping the flag in the pocket on that one because they nailed it live on field. I mean, that was a perfect hit from Deshaun Singleton. He didn't jar the ball loose, but they didn't add 15 extra yards and boot him out of the game in the first half against Minnesota for no reason. Nate Gary was probably watching that wondering what gives.
He's doing the Leo point at home thing. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like these last two games, I know that, you can, I don't know that Maryland's going to be much better than a 6-win team, just the way things are trending.
I think Malik Washington is good though.
No, I mean, he's going to be scary with the right coaching. I think
they have Maryland on the schedule going forward. I think it'd be okay if you didn't play Maryland while Malik Washington was
I think
still there.
they're coming to Nebraska's place next year.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I think that's I don't know what Michigan State's going to be, but it feels like you're at least gaining confidence by the way the last two games have kind of played out and the coolness with which they've operated in those situations.
Yeah, and then on top of it, I mean, just if you handle your business, you're going to have opportunities in these games, and we'll see. Minnesota and Northwestern, each of which are coming off wins. They're 4-2. They have their eyes designed on bowl games and everything else, and so those games are upcoming, and we'll see how Nebraska performs in them. So they have this big come from behind win. Feelings are good in Lincoln, and then the news comes down Sunday. James Franklin out at Penn State. In the new college football world, where if you made the playoffs the year before, if you have a couple losses the next year, you're done. You're out. Nobody wants you anymore. You're yesterday's news. I have a lot of thoughts on that. I have a lot of thoughts on what Penn State might look like by that time Nebraska goes out there in November. But more importantly, Bruntz, your thoughts on just kind of where this leaves the Nebraska program, knowing that its head coach is an alum of Penn State and has openly talked about his fondness for that place, and his old Temple buddy is the AD at Nebraska, or excuse me, at Penn State now.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that line up that are not going to. There's two things that can make this go away somewhat quickly. One is certainly Matt Rhule saying that he's not going anywhere. Although
I don't know that there's a single thing Matt Rhule could say on Monday.
No.
I just signed a lifetime contract,
right?
And
well, that's part two.
I'm going to bring it out to you. I've got this entire binder we're going to set in front of you. One media outlet at a time. Form a line. Let's go.
Watch as I get out this scroll and this quill, and I'm going to sign this giant contract in front of you. I mean, that's it. Is if there is some kind of contractual thing that makes it so. It's unfortunate in some ways that you finally get something rolling a little bit, or feel like you got something rolling again, and now you've got this conversation just constantly lurking in the background. Does it make sense? Yes, I think there's a lot of lines that line up there. I mean, it's from just kind of gathering the Penn State chatter. It would be fascinating because I don't know that Matt Rhule is at the top of fans' wish list right now. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we're a couple hours away from Matt Rhule's Monday press conference. I'm assuming that this will have to be addressed in some form or fashion, and go from there. I mean, this was the job that I think everybody had kind of looked at. That it's like, if this ever opens, this is going to be a conversation that's going to be a conversation until it's not. So here we are. Just a little bit sooner, I think, than everybody probably expected. But that's what happens when you, I guess, go on the road and get your ass kicked by UCLA and follow it up with just a nothing burger against Northwestern at home.
Yeah, no question about that end of it. I'm not.
Give me your biggest thought.
Okay, you want my biggest thought?
Yeah,
I think Nebraska shouldn't renegotiate with Matt Rhule. If he goes, he goes. If he does, you're at a better place than when you hired him. If he doesn't, you still have your coach for the future, and this is where he wants to be. I don't think you have to negotiate against yourself here, though. I genuinely don't. I mean, they're 5-1, and they were in this exact spot a year ago, and they finished 6-6. Like, we don't, he's had a very nice start to his tenure here at Nebraska. I understand that you want to continue to see this thing go forward. I just don't think Nebraska needs to add more money to their buyout, more money to the contract. And if he chooses to go to Penn State, I don't know that more money is going to stop it either. So I'm I'm of the mindset Nebraska moves forward, business as usual. I mean, if there's an extension of a rollover so that you can tell recruits that you'll be there for the duration of their career, which is hilarious in the transfer portal era anyways, fine. But don't renegotiate a contract to keep a guy that has done well for you here. But I don't know that I just don't think Nebraska needs to pay him more than what he's being paid for. And I'm generally not someone who cares that much about coaching salaries. I just don't think you need to negotiate against yourself. He's already got a big buyout. I just think that it only leads to a bad thing if Nebraska decides to go that route, in my mind.
Well, he's already due. It'll be $12 million by the end of the contract. If you remember how it's basically everything's backloaded. So, but yeah, it'll be fascinating how they play it. But I mean, you have to do something because I mean you're going to get cooked by opposing coaches, whatever, when it comes to portal time and it comes to recruiting and everything else. And I'm not saying that. And I agree with you. I don't think it's a money discussion whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find a better commitment for future facilities or speed up the grass in the field, I mean, the thing is, there's nothing that Matt Rhule has wanted for that you haven't already provided. So I guess it's to me, it's just a question really of, is this where you want to be or is your heart somewhere else? And then on top of it, are you their choice too? I mean, that's basically kind of where I'm at with it.
That's the other piece of it. I mean, you're what, $50 million of buyout money from Penn State to get rid of James Franklin. That's a lot of chips in the middle of the table to go out and find the next guy. I mean, you have to nail that hire, and I mean, we'll see if Matt Rhule's part of that. I mean, he may not be the top choice there either. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we'll hear from Matt Rhule in about 2 hours.
Yeah, and we know kind of all the names involved, so it's going to be a fascinating thing to watch. And certainly Nebraska playing Penn State at the end of November only adds to all of this as well. And we have that coverage and more at Husker247.com. So get there. Bruntz and BC will have coverage from the press conference. BC was out there in College Park and had plenty of coverage from the game as well. More recruiting stuff going on. Nebraska offered a Penn State commitment from 2027. So that you've got this aspect of coaches being fired. If you really want to know more about Trent Dilfer being fired, I bet you can find that somewhere at 24/7 Sports as well. That was a footnote to yesterday's big news as well. UAB moved on from ESPN analyst Trent Dilfer, essentially. So I just wanted to toss that in there as well. All right. Anything else you want and need, find it at Husker247.com. So for Michael Bruntz, I'm Mike Schaefer. We'll catch you next time.